Here we go. We got to pause straight off the bat. We're not trying to be your role models. We're telling you that these streets don't show mercy. This isn't a place for the weak-hearted. This isn't a place we try to stay at. It's a situation people have been stuck in long before we arrived. We're going to come back to that. We don't have answers. We can only share experiences. Think your actions through carefully. When all is said and done, the day will come where you will have to answer for them. There's a lot of truth in that as well. Let's break that down real quick. I don't wanna do no 20-minute breakdown. I'm not one of them, man, but not trying to be your role model. So they're stating that. So for all the people who are saying you're being a bad role model for the youth, they're not trying to be your role models. Even then, they're still gonna try to kick some knowledge with you. We're just telling you these streets don't show you mercy. We're just saying, like, you're not safe out here. You know, like that. Not necessarily from us, but that's just how the streets be. This isn't a place for the weak-hearted. This isn't a place we try to stay at. We're not trying to stay in the trenches. We're not trying to stay in the hood. We eventually want to get out from it. But we will never forget where we come from. It's a situation people have been long stuck in before we arrived. Like, what? Because people make drill music now and rap and whatnot, what? There's hoods now. As if there hasn't been hoods and ghettos and poverty-stricken and deprived areas for centuries. We don't have all the answers. We can only share experiences. They're not trying to answer everything for you. They're not trying to tell you everything. They're only just talking about what they've been through. When all is said and done, one day you have to answer for them. And I feel like there's a lot of personal truths within that, within certain situation of specific members within the group. Certain things may have happened before they were doing music. Music's happened and they want to be on the straight and narrow, but things from before music has caught up with them. If you know, you know. Alright, let's get going, man. It's already 2 minutes in. ONEFOUR worldwide. And yes, for the people saying that I was wearing this t-shirt 2 days ago, don't at me. I folded it. I ain't explaining myself. Shut up.
This shit ain't for everybody. When it comes down to it, can you be trusted?
Can you be trusted?
I've made my mind up. I gave my word. And that's the only thing that matters.
So you're hearing the Street Guy Part 1. There is a term for this as well. There's a term for this where music is played in a scene where the characters can actually hear it themselves. I don't know, but if you've ever watched the channel Sideways, who breaks down like film composition and shit, he knows. And anyone who studied film or music will know. Wait for part 2, bitch. Breaks and CADDYS. See what they're coming with here. And that's how we're transitioning. I like this sample already. Is it produced by Solo and Will? Produced by Will and Solo. Fresh kicks.
My young heater.
It's just a hectic start. Like, it's just crazy things bouncing around left to right. You got car alarms going off. You got things fading in. You got ad-lib start. Chaos.
From this big old shotty, from here to my wrist, that'll create holes like this. PM, hold that stick when I like my split, cause we ain't solving shit. V8, stolen whip on that MY just to catch me and them. Them shots we don't catch, we just send them. That side don't attack, they defend you. My young heater.
Nah, man.
From this big old shotty, from here to my wrist, that'll create holes like this. PM, hold that stick when I like my split, cause we ain't solving shit. V8, stolen whip on that MY just to catch me and them. Them shots we don't catch, we just send them.
That flow is disgusting.
So don't attack, they defend you. Someone's getting slapped in it. I ain't tryna risk my music, I'ma let my young G's do this. Couple racks for my young G's pockets, everybody stays included. 2021, big up the new year, but this year nothing ain't changing.
Big up the new year, but nothing ain't changing. Yeah, it's a new year, but we're still on our grind.
For the main rearranging, when we enter the Q1, big up the new year, but this year nothing ain't changing. Spot it up for the main rearranging, when we enter the game, we saved it. Breaks and CADDYS, my young hitter. We do road, but we got saddies. Rocks that glitter, Been in the track since young, of course I sit on them packs get flung.
That distorted whatever sound it is. You heard that in the Dutch track as well. And it was panned only to the right ear. Cold transition to Spenny.
Front row seats in a passy, course I sit on them athletes run. Course I've seen on them athletes psycho, but fuck that, I'm getting the win. But cash is he ready to spin? Nah, like fuck cash, I'm sending him mean. Go clap them, I'm done in the beat. Nah, fuck that.
Okay, first off, videography, let's touch on that now. I'm liking what they're doing here. They're making it very claustrophobic. They've got this car park theme going on, and it's feeling very packed and crowded, which matches the energy of the track. As I said, it's a very hectic sound. It's a very chaotic atmosphere right now. There's all sorts of shit going on, and I think the visuals supplement that in making it no big open spaces. That's the most open shot there, and then they've even done a cut there with people in the back. By the way, I like the fact that there's a back-to-back car. I'm liking how JM and Spenny are doing more back-to-backs. I like that. I'm liking how they're doing more of them now.
Cause they got one of us last week, so this week we're getting two more. Get them balls, I win in the war, cause our 18 left one in the floor. Don't worry about keeping the score, cause this shit we ain't needing the ball. I'm blowing a cat, I'm swinging the sword. But when I get home, I'm doing a chore. You just like us and we're coming up. Now it's your turn to start on four. Now back on the road and bubble. Bikes and caddies, my young hitter. We do robot, we got saddies. Rocks that clear.
The way they're doing reverse sweeps.
My young hitter. We do robot, we got saddies. Rocks that.
It's like they did an 808 slowed down and sped back up, and then they took like the hi-hats and did a slow down and speed back up on that. I don't know how that's engineered. I don't know what Will and Solo have done there, but I like it. Just listen to what they've done there.
My young hitter, we do robot, we got saddies. Rocks that clear. Been in the track since young, of course I sit on them packs get flung. Have front row seats in a passy, course I sit on them athletes run. Bikes and caddies, my young hitter, we do robot, we got saddies. Rocks that clear. Been in the track since young, of course I sit on them packs get flung. Have front row seats in a passy, course I sit on them athletes run.
Alright, before we get into CG, a big part of ONEFOUR's game is how their tracks are being mixed, man. Like, each and every time, the way they're engineered, from where they put their cuts to how they put their stutters to how they change the drum pattern to keep it fresh. Like, there's so much that they do that can't even be fully appreciated by someone like me. I need a producer to react to this. You understand? I need a producer to react and review this, because they will do a better job of breaking this shit down, and it needs to be appreciated. Alright, CG 7 side. I've heard the first line of his verse on Instagram. Can't lie. Interested, very interested. The name is also interests me because he's called CG 7 side, but and in the track it's just called CG. And obviously we've got artists like CG Fez, and I know there's a bunch of people on Instagram with their @ handles CG underscore or CG something. So I thought CG represented an area or a crew, but can someone clear up the origins of my man's name? Are we calling him CG and then there's CG Fez? Are they two separate things and it's just a coincidence? Or is, because 7 side I'm presuming from the 27, so CG from the 7 side, but then CG, you get where I'm coming from? Can someone explain that?
Yeah, I'm that youngin', send me the drop and I'm coming. Big stick better running, stolen car bleach whatever I'm touching.
That transition, videography.
Big stick better running, stolen car bleach whatever.
So they must have had a camera on a robotic arm. I think that's how someone's explained it to me. When you have them shots there, you know, like for anyone who's tuned into the UK, the body remix, or even the body track in the first place, and there's been videos like that for a while now. Young Bane Vroom was the first one I seen. Like it, where they're using the robotic arm and they use it so that you can have multiple takes and mix people in and take people out while it being the same shot precisely. I probably didn't explain that, but keep moving.
I'm touching. When I catch Freddy, I'm killing my cousin. Big stick better running, stolen car bleach whatever I'm touching. When I catch Freddy, I'm killing my cousin.
Is he talking about Freddy who's related to ONEFOUR? Is that a different Freddy? Wait, I don't know. Someone can explain that bar too.
In the front seat, I'm trying to clap him. We hit sticks, but this ain't matter. We don't play fair, slap. Ask you what happened the first. If the heavens sent, then I'll send them back. If you chill with them, you get killed with them. That's what I'm pulling a pack.
It's white.
Sick in the head, this bay fine end. We changing the trend. Their parents gon' bury their kids instead. Put a blade in your neck. Rucksack glitter. Beating the tracks, young. Of course, I sit on them packs get flung. Have front row seats in a passy. Course, I sit on them athletes run.
First off, he has this. Hey, you don't wanna mess with me, man. He has been at a concert all night, and now he has lost his voice. You remind me of the Godfather, Don Corleone. Give man a lemsit.
That youngin', send me the drop and I'm coming. Big stick, better running. Stolen car, bleach, whatever I'm touching. When I catch Freddy, I'm killing my cousin. In the front seat, I'm trying to
get my head round that bar.
We hit sticks, but this ain't matter. We don't play fair or slap. Ask you what happened the third. If the heavens sent, then I'll send them back. If you chill with them, you get killed with them. That's what I'm pulling a pack. I'm sick in the head, this bay fine end. We changing the trend. Their parents gon' bury their kids instead. Put a blade in your neck or fill them with lead. Bikes and caddies, my young.
That is a cruddy verse.
We do robot, we got saddies. Rucksack glitter. Beating the tracks, it's young. Of course, I sit on them packs get flung. Have front row seats in a passy. Course, I sit on them athletes run. Bikes and caddies, my young hitter. We do robot, we got saddies. Rucksack glitter. Beating the tracks, it's young. Of course, I sit on them packs get flung. Have front row seats in a passy. Course, I sit on them athletes run. Fuck yeah, it's gonna be alright, word.
That sample they've used is incredible, and how they've flipped it and used it, incredible also, man, insane.
Y'all ain't part of the plan, but it's part of the game.
Ain't part of the plan, but you're part of the game. Alright, this is a huge statement, you know. Street Guy Part 1, I reviewed it and I enjoyed the song at the time, and since then I've enjoyed that song more. That song has grown on me even more. This one has had an even better first impression on me, and I have a feeling it's only going to get better. One thing I've realized about ONEFOUR recently is their replay value is incredible. Now, there's a few artists that I react to that I may really like their track, and I will genuinely like the track when I record the reaction, but I may not always go back to it. Likewise, there's people who I may give a tame reaction to and think, yeah, it's an okay track, and I actually go back to it quite often. ONEFOUR are in this very fine space of, I enjoy it when I react to it, like, and you physically see that, and then it also only gets better. I recall a couple people saying that the EP wasn't full of drill, and that's why they didn't love it. Like, they tried different things. I'm glad they tried different things, but with this Street Guide, well, I know it's only 2 tracks, but it feels like they're sticking closer to the original sound that they blew up off of. And I still want them to experiment, I still want them to try new things, but it is a nice reminder to know, like, yeah, they can still do this shit that everyone loves them for and still improve upon that. Will something like this be as iconic as the message? No, I don't think anything ever will be, to be perfectly honest with you. But what it is it is a better track. In my opinion, it is better, and unfortunately sometimes quality doesn't always beat a moment, and the message was a moment. And you know, I don't think people I don't think I can convince too many people otherwise, but do people see where I'm coming from an engineering standpoint, from a production standpoint? Just everything about them is just leveling up each and every time. And I say all of that to say this: ONEFOUR are so clear at the top of their own lane, and they are still continuing to improve. Do you understand how far the gap is between ONEFOUR and the rest? And I say that with the utmost respect and love in my heart for everyone else. But we have to be real with ourselves. This isn't just a hype train. Tell me who else is doing it at the quality that ONEFOUR are doing. And anyone who uses a US or UK example to argue with that, I mean, that's self-explanatory. These men are doing it from Australia, and with all due respect, the UK is bigger than Australia, and the US is 10 times bigger than the UK. So whether you like it or not, they're coming from a place where it's hard to be doing what they're doing, and they are so... they're just spearheading the lane. I don't want to say any more than that. You know what this speech is going to be. So regardless, shout out ONEFOUR each and every time. 2 for 2 so far in this Street Guide. I know the track list was released, but I can't remember how many tracks are actually going to be on there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it as a whole project. I wonder when the whole project will be coming out. I'm just going to quickly look in the description. No, not that I'm seeing. Shout out Gabriel Gasparinatos and Matt Wilson. But Gabriel, I've spoken to before, and I know he's produced some absolutely crazy videos, so that makes sense why this video was so good. And shout out the whole team and everyone who was a part of this one each and every time. So yeah,